Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Fans of DC Universe podcast, the only DCU podcast for the fans by the fans, and the best source for all DC Universe news and discussion on everything DCU. Joining us today are me, New 52, Aquaman C 137,
Howdy.
Toonatonian,
Hello.
and possibly Don-el?
Maybe.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to go over the comics really quickly before diving into the new Titans trailer and the season finale of Young Justice Outsiders. So, Toonatonian, do you want to cover what's new to DCU?
I sure will. So, new to DCU this week, we have Batman Beyond, number 23, Mother Panic, Gotham, AD, number 6, Suicide Squad, Annual, number 1, Action Comics, number 1002, Damage Annual, number 1, Detective Comics, number 987, The Flash, number 53, Justice League Dark, number 2, which I did just read. It was really good. Silencer, number 8, Teen Titans, number 21, The Terrifics, number 7, Wonder Woman, number 53, Batman, Kings of Fear, number 1, Raven, Daughter of Darkness, number 7, which I will eventually get to read, Death of Superman Part 1, number 4, and Injustice 2, Chapter 72, which, from what I understand, is the end of that series. So I don't read it, but we'll find out from others. Has anybody read any of those yet?
Well, I did read Justice League Dark number 2, and just like you, I loved it.
Yes, it was awesome. I love all the Justice League Darks I read. I'm glad they're getting to be on there because it's nice to just quickly revisit, right? Yeah, it's nice to quickly revisit.
And the art's really good.
It really was. Yeah.
All right, let's go over to the newly digitized.
Sure thing. So newly digitized this week, we have Batman Family number 15, Bruce Wayne, The Road Home, Batman and Robin number 1, Bruce Wayne, The Road Home, Catwoman number 1, Dead Men Dead Again number 3, Detective Comics number 322, Doom Patrol number 13, House of Secrets number 107, Human Defense Corps number 6, Law or LAW number 6. You can tell I'm not familiar with that one. Legion of Superheroes Annual number 3, Superman's Girlfriend number 12, and World Without End number 3. What'd you guys read from there? Any?
Honestly, from there, I haven't read any.
Yeah, I haven't read
Aquaman,
it.
have you?
No, I sure haven't. Like
Yeah.
always with the digitized stuff and the things added this week, I haven't. I did go to the comic shop this week and pick up some stuff. I got
Nice.
yeah, I got the issue 2 from Superman Year 1. It was really good. It got a little weird with the last bit. He has a little adventure, like a side adventure in Atlantis. It was good though, and the art is just beautiful, and the coloring. I can't think of the colorist's name, but very pretty panels. And then picked up a Batman White Knight, the issue 1 and 2. Definitely cool. I haven't read the second one yet, but I'm sure it's going to be great. The first one was very cool, and
Yeah,
once
and I picked up the White Knight not too long ago, and I'm just at the very beginning also. But yeah, it seems delightful. I didn't know this thing existed, so.
And today I also picked up Superman Batman, or Batman and Superman issue 1. I have not read it yet, but I flipped through the book, and the art looks great, so I'm excited to read that. It features the Batman who laughs. I'm not really crazy about him, but it looks like it's going to be good though.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I like it. I like the Batman Who Laughs. I bought into that. Yep.
But
Have
that's
any of
it
you
for-
been reading anything for a book club or anything like that?
I haven't. I want to, and I should. I just have to get on the right schedule. It seems like every time I look, it happens to be like towards the end of one. And then for a reason I just get busy and then when I look again, I'm late. But I'm going to get with it eventually.
All right. So that's all that's new to DC Universe regarding comics. Now, there is a little PSA. You can send in videos to DC Universe wishing them a happy birthday. Your submissions will join a montage, which will show on DC Daily. They've also been asking for artwork in the fan creation section.
I think that's awesome and amazing. Yeah, I think
Yes.
I need to like make something, but I want it to be good. So I hope I don't procrastinate too long and miss the deadline.
I know. I'm really glad they're including the fans this way in the celebration.
Me too. It's important.
Yeah.
It's really cool that they're doing that. I mean, I probably myself won't upload any video or anything like that, but it's definitely cool that they have that feature.
Definitely. So if you want to get on that, the deadline is coming up soon. So go ahead and check the Watchtower section and the fan creation section for more information. Now, we do have movies that are returning to DC Universe. They're going to be Batman and Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, The Batman versus Dracula, Superman Batman Apocalypse, and Superman Batman Public Enemies. Are any of you looking forward to one of those?
I am. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all of them returning. I already have the Apocalypse and the Public Enemies, so not so much those, but the Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. I watched it when it was on there before. It was really good. I don't know why I waited so long. And then Batman versus Dracula. Yeah, it is like a little hidden gem. So I'll watch it again too.
Yeah, I
What about you
really love
guys?
the art. I love the art in Batman and versus Dracula, so I'm going to rewatch that because I just finished watching the Batman animated series. That this is, I believe it's set in the same continuity. It's at least sharing the same art style, so I'm going to rewatch that one.
I haven't seen that one. I believe it is though. Most of like the Bruce Timm like animation style stuff is in the same universe, I believe.
Oh no, it's The Batman, the show The Batman.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't seen that movie anyways. It's one of the few animated ones I haven't. I was saying earlier.
Well, I recommend it.
No, I'll definitely check it out. As far as the other ones, I've seen those a bunch of times. I'm glad they're coming back. It's always good to have more content on the app. But
yeah, and we're going to be getting more content soon next week. All right.
That's a good segue.
Talking about more content, on September 2nd, they're going to release pretty much the entirety of Titans, which will be compiled into an ultimate binge edition. It's going to include behind the scenes interviews and more. So that's going to be like one big episode of Titans, and every episode is going to be in sequential order from 1 to 11, I believe. And then it's going to have behind the scenes content interspliced between the episodes.
I'm excited about this. Yeah, I think that's cool that they're going to go ahead and get that all set up, and we can just push play and let it roll, and that'll be great. Are they doing a big watch along event for it?
I don't know. I haven't seen any, but
that would be so intense, right? Like they should, like it's a marathon, like,
and people just pop in and pop out whenever.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, because I want to watch it because it's kind of like we're getting the DVD commentary and stuff with all those behind the scenes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and we have a week? We have 1 week to get it done. So.
Okay, so that's what that is. I'd seen like a thread about that, or people talking about it on Discord. Definitely. I didn't like bother reading it or anything. But so that additional content and like special features, that's like the stuff that was on the Blu-ray. I'm assuming.
I don't know. I believe it would be, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know either. I don't know where it's coming from, but
if it is, that's cool. Yeah. If it is, that's cool that they'll have that little bonus.
And I'm
we should get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it as soon as I can because you never know if it could leave.
Right? Yes, thinking back to the early days. Yes, it could. You're right.
All right. Also, DC Daily is going to be interviewing a bunch of creators and actors with fan questions that they're taking from the Watchtower section. Um, However, if you have a question that you want to ask Dan Jurgens, Jim Kruger, Greg Weisman, Zara Fasal, Corinne Walters, and April Bowlby, you should go submit your questions now because some of the interviews are already being recorded or finalized. So just a heads up on that one.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
to interject, I did do one for Jim Kruger. He's one of my favorite creators. He used to do something called Foot Soldiers back in. Of course, he did a lot of stuff for DC. Over at Marvel, he did Earth X, which was an incredible series with Alex Ross as the artwork. But just he's a really neat. He leans heavily into like the C.S. Lewis religious allegory type stuff, and it really is fascinating how he wrote.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is cool. I want to say, yeah, he's definitely like done. I know like the stuff with Alex Ross, and he's done a bit of stuff with like Superman and Batman, hadn't he?
Right. Yeah. He also over in Valiant, he did some neat stuff with Solar Man.
Okay.
And again, anything that's celestial, he's in, right? But also the Foot Soldiers wasn't celestial. He's good on the street.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Look up the stuff later on what he has for Christmas. Pretty darn funny. Really neat.
For Christmas?
Stuff he did. Yeah, stuff about.
Oh,
You'd have to go
cool.
back and look. Just look
I
at Jim
will.
Kruger Christmas. It'll come right.
Nice. Yeah, I will. I like seasonal stuff. I'll wait till around Christmas time, so hopefully it's still there. But yeah.
I forgot you did mention that before, Toon.
Yeah, I do. I'm ready. I'm ready to get started with fall.
I always miss summer when it goes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm always excited for fall to happen. I'm waiting though. I'm waiting till September 1st.
I thought it was always summer over in San Diego.
Right?
San Diego.
Well, I don't know who's in San Diego, but it's not always hot here. All right, so now let's get into the big event that happened on DC Universe, which was the finale of Young Justice, a 3-episode finale. This was a pretty big deal. A lot of things happened. Aquaman, I know you saw it. Any
I
thoughts?
watched the very last episode. So a little
Oh,
bit.
okay, cool. So
Really, you
we can all
did?
talk about it.
Who wants to jump in first?
Do you want to split it up into episode per episode, or do you want to just go ahead and give your overall thoughts?
You want to break it down by episode?
Okay. Let's start with Into the Breach, which was the first of the 3-parter. Pretty much Cyborg is tapping into Granny's tech, and he's tracking down Halo, and Beast Boy is fighting Granny Goodness.
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of like altered like the version of like Cyborg connects with like the grid, I believe is what he calls it, and it seems like it's more they're just kind of substituting that with just him being able to communicate with like mother box technology.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, for sure. I mean, like the second half of the season, I haven't been too much of a fan of. A lot of the episodes were hit or miss for me personally. Just I felt like there was just a lot of just unnecessary things that just didn't seem like essential to the overall plot. It just seemed like some filler to me. It was good. I'm glad that things got resolved. I wish there would have been some like more action though. Like I mean, if you compare that to season 2, with the Reach, that huge showdown they had, where they reveal themselves like Calder, and everything to the light and whatnot, that he's like a double agent. And or like even to like the first season, which I feel is like the best, how they Justice League versus Young Justice, I mean versus Savage. I mean that
It definitely felt like they pivoted and gave us a smaller finale in terms of the big bad for the finale itself. But as far as the first episode, what did you think of the action between Granny Goodness and Beast Boy's fight?
I like that, the little showdown they had. That was definitely cool, and it was hilarious when he morphed his face when he was in the gorilla form to like look like Granny Goodness. That was pretty funny.
I know, and she was so mad about that.
I know, right?
So then Cyborg gets to Halo, frees her, and the anti-life equation is pretty much null at that point. But Halo gets a new power where she's like all rainbow aura'd out.
Yeah, that
pretty
was
cool.
definitely cool.
I don't really understand what that power was. Like, is it just a combination of all of them at once, or what's going on there?
I'm not super familiar with that. Like I flipped through some Outsider comics, which are ones I hadn't actually read, just to like look at her original, and it seems like that like her having like the entire like spectrum and everything was kind of part of her thing. But if I'm gonna guess, I would say it was maybe not all of those powers being used at once, but them being brought together unleashed like some Jean Grey power kind of thing.
All right. So after that, we headed into Overwhelmed, episode 25 of season 3, and we discovered that, kind of like Jace, Metron believes Halo and Cyborg are his grandchildren.
Yeah, I think really just what he meant by that was just that the fact that they're products of the mother box,
Yeah.
the technology. So like in a way, they're his descendants in some fashion.
But it's still kind of funny to draw that comparison with like Jace previously, who thought that just because she put someone in tar, they were suddenly her children.
Yeah, but she was crazy.
Metron's kind of crazy too.
Yeah, he's seen a lot though.
Maybe he's seen too much.
Right. He needs to hop off that Mobius chair, get in a lawn chair and chill out.
It's pretty cool though, getting to see Cyborg, the father box, and then Halo, the mother box. That's pretty awesome because normally Cyborg, since the New 52, was connected to the mother boxes, right? Not the father box.
Yeah, and I love that change to his storyline. I mean, I guess it lessens like Silas Stone's savvy ability to fix his son and like use just Earth technology from like the original like, Titans iteration. But I really like Geoff Johns' version. I mean, that is probably like my favorite version of Cyborg, really. But he doesn't have the father box anymore, though. Remember, because it got sucked out of him.
Well, he doesn't have the soul, but he still has the tech.
Oh, I thought that was pretty much just like mother box technology now. But I could totally be wrong on that.
Huh.
You guys, you have me wishing I wasn't so far behind. It sounds amazing.
No, I was surprised when you said you watched the last episode. I was like, dang.
I know.
She's working backwards.
I know, because everybody was talking about it, and DC Daily was talking about it, and I'm like, I have time. I'll just watch it real quick. And it'll be that much better when I actually watch the whole thing and finally get to it, right?
Well, have any of you ever read the end of a book and then read the rest of the book?
No.
Not a book, but when I was a kid, I did that with the original Star Wars. Like, so I was like sick, and I think I was like second or third grade, and someone my mom worked with, like, he lent her the old school VHS set of like the original trilogy. And I was a little kid, and like I was looking at the back of like the VHSs, and I saw like Princess Leia in that metal bikini. It was on like the thing. I was like, I'm gonna watch this one first. And, it kind of ruined the whole. It ruined the whole trilogy for me.
Right? Okay, so you learned, and I've learned.
Yeah. Regrets.
All right. Was the second episode the one with the Zatanna portion, or was that in the third?
Second, and it was heartbreaking. That's the only one that I haven't really rewatched.
Do you recall, Aquaman?
No, it was the second one. That deals like the second one. It has like I want to say it starts off. I think it starts off with like Beast Boy playing with Chester's daughter, at the not the Young Justice Tower, whatever you want to call that place.
The Outsiders?
The Outsiders location. And that's when Metron booms them to, I don't know if it was the source wall, but he makes like an artificial atmosphere for him and everything. And then it goes from like that, it goes from that scene to the worst, like most cringy thing in the world. Roy Will, or clone Roy, whatever you want to call him.
Will.
Setting the Valentine's date with Artemis, and I was just like, no, do not do this. I was so angry. I was so upset.
You were angry. They've been hinting at that since like the beginning. That's the one story point that I was like, okay, we saw this coming from the start. Because a lot of the finale just came out of nowhere. But that one I saw coming.
I've been upset with that whole thing since the beginning. Like them like trading glances during that dinner and everything. I was like, don't do this. Like,
I mean, they're the only people that they hang out with, other than each other. They just go on missions or hang out with the little baby, with the toddler.
I don't care. I don't want it to happen.
It's not going to happen, but people are just like, maybe we should try it. They gave it a shot. They didn't. Actually,
I know, and that was such a like, thank goodness. I was so happy when they were like, yeah, this is just weird. And I was like, yes, exactly. It was unnecessary, wasted time. It wasn't,
though. It needed to happen so Artemis could finally move on from the actual waste of time of Wally West constantly being hung over our heads.
Oh my goodness. No, hush your mouth. Wasted time with Wally. Are you kidding me? No.
Okay. If we've had enough, we get it. He's dead. People are crying.
No, he's not. He's in the Speed Force because like when
yeah, I get it. They're teasing that he's gonna come back. But it's just too much now. It's too much. It's too much. Just let him be dead. The effect that he's had on all of the other characters and how his death has pushed them forward, it's at its point where just let him be dead.
You are a heartless savage.
Listen, I love Wally. He was one of my favorites from the original Justice League cartoon, but he is gone. We have Impulse. Let's just focus on the characters we have now instead of constantly bringing back the old ones. Like, I liked the little episode that had the core team. Okay, that was cute and everything, but season 1, not my favorite. I'm ready to let go of that whole cast. Speaking of which, I'm ready to let go of McGann and Connor as a couple.
I'm kind of over McGann. I was not really a fan of her this season. But real quick, before get off topic one more time before we get back into the rest of the episode, or the second of the 3. So remember the one prior to that where they had like the flashback with the original members and all that. You see how many people were like on the threads like loving that, and it's just like,
I know, but like, we're talking about our opinions here. Man. I don't want it.
What they want, because that line that works so good.
No, I'm over it. Artemis pretty much is bland to me. She has hardly a personality. McGann, she's just constantly, she's bland. Connor, he's bland. What is he doing? Nothing. Dick is still cool, but okay.
Oh, absolutely. I do not like where they went with Connor and McGann, especially McGann. She was just cringy, like everything. It was just so cheesy. I just didn't care for it. And like the whole, like the bald McGann and her like being like a phony white Martian representation thing is like, we all know what a white Martian looks like. If she wants to represent white Martians, then just go full beast mode on that.
Yes, that would be so awesome.
Like seriously, what's the point of being like a white version of like Martian Manhunter, when he's in like his human form, like and he goes more alien than that, and it's so like, what was the point of that? There was no reason for that, and it's unappealing looking, in my opinion. Like if people were like, oh good, she's embracing her white Martian side, like dude, that's not what a white Martian looks like. Come on.
But then again, it could be like a baby step, like, oh, a haircut.
No, but everyone on the team knows what her actual form is.
But the people out there in the world don't.
I know,
so it
but
could just be like her walking towards it, eventually getting to that.
Half measure, man. Just go go home.
Well, I have another half measure that I want to bring up later, but it happens later, so I won't talk about it now.
Okay.
But did you like the Zatanna and Artemis thing?
It was. I mean, like I get the closure, like trying to like give her closure and everything like that. Are you referring to like just her putting her in that whatever spirit realm thing, or
Yeah.
like the fact that she misled her?
Well, the whole entire everything.
Just the whole enchilada. It was no, I wasn't a fan. Like I wasn't a fan. I get why they did it, but I would have rather them just brought Wally back, which I know you agree.
Yeah, I agree with him staying gone. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I already hate the trunks on Superman. I don't need more hate, but I can't lie. I don't want Wally back. I loved what he brought to the first 2 seasons, but where has Impulse been this entire season? Nowhere. Why? He was so good last season. But because they keep harping on, oh, look at this speedster. Like, no, I want to see the one that you have now.
Let's just move on.
Now, I did like that it was a parallel of Zatanna with Dr. Fate and her father, Zatara. And that episode came back in a way here where we get to see now Zatanna being the one that comforts Artemis. I really like that.
Comment? I thought she was gonna. I thought when she called someone on the phone, she was like, "I need to see you" or whatever. I kind of thought it was McGann actually, because she's been playing like Miss Counselor this season.
I didn't think it was McGann. Have they even really had any like hardcore interaction? Those two, I feel like they're not close.
I was just wrong when I was when I was watching. I was like, because I couldn't think of it, and it didn't dawn on me. But it totally makes sense that she went to Artemis. I just like in the moment when I was watching, I was like, I cannot figure out who she's on the phone with.
Yeah, that's another reason why I don't care for the original team. They just feel so dispersed and like they're not that close. It's like, okay,
Wally's gone.
well, if he's the only thing that was keeping them together, then they suck.
Oh my gosh, you were gonna. Oh.
Oh my gosh. I can already. Okay.
Yeah, right. let's just change.
You may want to change your name to New 53 after.
Well, I already have the name of New 52, which everybody hates.
No, I love the New 52. I was surprised with all the
I
backlash.
do too. Yeah, I like New 52 also. That's like whenever I think I started getting more serious about the actual comic books.
Me too.
That was one
I
of
like
the
it
best
so much that
times
when
of
they-
my life. We just moved up here where I am now, and there's a comic book store 20 minutes away. I'd rush out every Wednesday and buy 50 comics or whatever it was.
Don, by the way, I love your comic shop on your little strip, you know, and you have Strong Man and Night Guy, I think it is, or whatever, like in the posters and the windows. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a stickler for detail in your sketches.
Well, I'm on panel 3 as you guys speak.
And if you don't know what Aquaman and Don-el are talking about, Don-el is creating a comic strip in the fan creations on the community boards. So go check that out.
Well, thank
Little
you.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I
segue
actually
into
designed
soliciting.
Sally. I'm surprised how easy Sally was to draw.
Oh
Now,
my goodness.
Where
Aquaman,
were we?
how did you feel about? Okay, I know how you felt about it being an illusion, but how did you feel about Zatanna lying to Artemis?
I don't care.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was good. Like, I know this whole thing about lying to people for the greater good has kept coming back this season, but I mean, she needed to work through it. It's been how many years, and she's still like, oh, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. Like, oh.
Oh yeah, like I said, like I get why they did it, and like I side with Zatanna and McGann on that, like just like I do with Batman, and you know, doing it for the greater good. I just wanted Wally back, but no, I'm totally in favor with that. Like I don't. Is that line in Watchmen when he's like, I don't condemn, but I don't condone, or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. And also, they brought Rocket back, which they really didn't do anything with her for the first season or the second, and
that's
they just
another thing. Like
randomly.
I'm kind of hoping someone makes like a fandom menace version of season 3, like, and cut out all the unnecessary stuff. Like, why bring in 13? All those characters that went to like more New Genesis, stuff like that. Like all those little things that like just didn't seem essential to the main plot, and it was just like it seemed like a lot of filler. Like I feel like they could have done this season with probably at least 5 less episodes.
It's really a bloated cast, which again, it could be better without the original cast, so we can focus on the current one.
I'll take that, fine. Like, I mean, it just don't be, they were just too, like, I know we've all expressed this and everything, like, you know, it was just too much, spread too thin. They were trying to do too much.
What I didn't like is that they brought in like that whole lineup at the San Diego Comic-Con panel when they announced that Young Justice was coming back, and how many of those characters ended up mattering in the end.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Like when we got that first little teaser, what characters were going to be in, like barely any of those were part of the main. Like, so why even have them in there?
And what sucks is they love their time skips. I'm hoping they don't do another one, but they do love their time skips. And if they do that, we lose out on these characters. We don't get the stories from these characters, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's sad. But this whole finale made me just like, Cyborg is really overpowered. He belongs on the Justice League. I know people are always like, "Oh no, he belongs with the Titans. He works with the Titans." But his power set is insane. He belongs with the Justice League in my opinion.
No, I liked him. Like I said, I love like the New 52 Justice League. That's probably one of my favorite like runs of the, like that and the Batman was like my favorite runs from the New 52, hands down. And I liked him in the Justice League. I do love. I'm a big Titans fan, like of the old comics, and like he's an essential part of that roster. But I'm totally fine with him being a Justice League member.
Yeah. Did anything really else big happen in the second one?
No, I think that's it for the second one. And
well, we did get in the credits something bubbling to the surface.
what?
Now, in the after credits, you know, a certain body part was like growing.
Yeah, like when I saw that, I was like, "Is that Lobo's thumb from that one episode, Home Fries?"
Well, because they had kept bringing it back in multiple episodes, so I was like, "Oh, I see what they're doing," but then, wait, are they doing that? But let's talk about the third episode, which was the finale.
Yeah, Toon, what you saw the last one because
I did.
What did you think without having any background?
I thought it was good because I've only watched like the first, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe 9 episodes. And I recognized some of the stuff that was going on, so it made, you know, some sense, and it was really good and very enjoyable. Yeah, more context, like you guys were talking about, would definitely be helpful.
Did you have a character that like stood out to you and you're like, "Oh wow, I want to know more about them" when I watched the whole season?
All of it. I didn't realize Lobo was in it until I was looking through the episodes, and yeah, I didn't know that was there, and I was like, "Oh, Lobo's in it." So, and now you just said about the bubbling up and the thing, and I'm like, "Well, now I definitely have to go back and watch." Probably, I think I remember the first episode, so I could just start with like 7 or 8 and keep going. But yeah, I was like, "Hey, they found, you know, the princess." I remembered that, and yeah, it was good.
So, since you mentioned the princess, let's dive into the whole Markovian royal family.
Yes.
Aquaman, any thoughts on the brothers and the sister?
Okay, so I loved how they were all. It was pretty much like Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, like okay. Before I get into Brienne, which I was just, oh my god, I love that. Like so when they go to Markovia, and you know, what's his name? Count Vertigo is like holding up. I can't remember if it was Alpha or Beta team or whatever.
Mm.
And then Brienne and Tara go fight their uncle, the Baron. I was really surprised. Like, so once the fight gets out in the courtyard or wherever that area is, on like outside the palace, I was really surprised at how long it took Nightwing and the others to get out there afterwards. Like, cause you know, there's like a good couple minutes after like Nightwing throws like one of his sticks or whatever and like knocks out Count Vertigo.
Yeah.
Like I loved. Oh my gosh, dude! Like when Brienne shoved that lava down the Baron's throat, man, I loved that scene. I was like, dude, that's how to be a boss. That was just epic, man. It was so great. I really liked, out of all of the new characters, I felt like Brienne had the best like overall like arc and like character development going. Going from being like being angry and everything like that to kind of becoming a good guy, and then just going straight up like Revenge of the Sith Anakin style, like Darth Vader. It was I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
And I totally side with him, man. I was like, dude, kill that dude. Like straight up murk that guy. He's gonna be no
That
good.
was hardcore.
I love that.
I totally agree. Yeah, it was hardcore, but I was like, oh no, though, because that's the line that the supporters are supposed to cross.
Who cares, man?
I think it was. I think, yeah. I don't want to say the right move because then what am I, a supervillain? But yeah, no, it was. I totally understood that.
Yeah, I get like for Batman, it's essential part of his character not to break that code and everything, but like, I mean, you gotta like look at it in a more real perspective. Like, dude, he's just gonna keep coming back, man. Just end him. And
you also have to put it. You also have to put it in the perspective that they were all being recorded, filmed. They're going through a tumultuous time right now where metahumans are being ostracized and targeted.
I know, that's why it was such a boss move. It was so awesome.
Listen, I thought it came out of nowhere. I thought it was kind of poorly executed, but when it happened, it was so cool. It was so cool. I have loved Brion like pretty much the whole season. I like his design. I like his everything, but he sort of fell off after the second half came back. He sort of just like became a background character. So his turn felt like it came out of nowhere. It felt like, oh, let's just throw in that he's taking over the outsiders, like, so that, oh, look, we planted the seed. No, you didn't. You did that last minute because you spent too much time doing a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't matter. But then, sorry, I did like the finale.
No,
I just want to.
It did. No, it was so like jam packed. It was. It just stuffed it right down my throat.
Just like Fairy Bedlam.
Like pun intended. It was awesome.
Right.
But it was really cool. I just hate that they then wanted to have their cake and eat it too and took it back by, oh, but he didn't really do it. It was a super villain that pushed him to it. I didn't like that.
Right. No, yeah.
But if he's going to do it, then he should be the one, like, fully 100% just him.
Like, well, what did that guy say? Yeah. And I'm not familiar with that character, but he was like, I don't have the mind control or whatever telepathy of like a Martian, but like he edges them
like pushes
to their deeper desire. So it was like he still wanted to do it. But he just needed that little extra push.
But it just takes away from the badassness of that scene to me.
Oh, he still did it, man. He looks so cool. I mean, I don't even care if he looks like Gambit with that headpiece. Like, it was awesome.
It was, but it also, like, the big fight at the end was with just a rock guy. A guy made out of rock, and like,
yeah, there was some like physics things to that. Like, so like how like when Tara like was slamming that big piece of rock down on him, like that force compared to like what when Brion was like beating him down and everything, I was just like, dude, like some things you would think would have hurt him more and others that didn't. It was like some of that didn't seem to like make sense, but overall, like that was the best part for me. Like I think I like clapped when he killed him. I was so happy. That was awesome.
I know it just didn't make sense for him to stay alive, but I don't like that they took that away from Brion and just made it like it was kind of him, but kind of not. So he could still be good later. But
yeah, well, I loved how he.
I just want him to be a villain.
Yeah, I know villains are so fun, and I loved how he just called out like the team and everything. He's like a bunch of hypocrites and everything. He's like, he was totally right. I mean, seriously, man, they want to be like, oh, we're the good guys and all that stuff. I was like, dude, yeah, but you don't want to do what needs to be done.
And again, with the lying, it came back to bite them, the good guys.
Yeah, with Tara and everything.
Mm-hmm. But, okay, that's another thing that I had a problem with. Like, Batman looks at Deathstroke's face from 300 miles away. Not really, I'm exaggerating that. But he can tell that Tara's, like, evil now because of his facial expression. But no one could tell that Jace was evil.
I know, right? But I mean,
when she was right there.
You know what Bruce would say. He's like, I'm Batman.
But I mean, also Artemis would leave her, well, not her child, but her niece with Tara alone. Like, hello, she could kill your daughter or well, your niece at any moment. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, she was letting her babysitter and everything. Like, yeah, totally.
That's crazy.
That's pretty far-fetched for sure.
And I thought it was going to be more of Cyborg finding out because he had been intercepting text messages and we saw her texting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that would have made more sense than like Batman just saw Slade's face.
Oh, like I guess I'm gonna move on from that scene, but like I loved when everything blew up in Lex's face at like the UN. Like
Oh, okay. If we're getting into Lex, what do you think of Infinity Inc.?
Gosh, I still don't know much about that. I want to say is Infinity Inc. like the same thing that like remember in like the Justice League, I think Unlimited show when like they made those they had multiple clones when like Supergirl or Power Girl goes and attacks like the Watchtower. Is that the same group of heroes?
I think so. All
You
the
know what
ones
I'm
that end
talking
up dying.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though from like Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, where they all start dying.
Yeah. Like is that the same group or whatever? Or
I
supposed to
don't
be?
know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Infinity Inc. to
Well,
really
because Maxwell Lord was the one that had that team, or was it Lex?
uh, I honestly don't know.
I don't remember. It's been a long
I'd
time.
have to look it up. Yeah, I'd have to look it up.
Are you talking
But-
about in the comics?
Yeah, and Don-el, I definitely want your input on who do you think is wearing that Legion ring. And like I was totally thinking it was like gonna be a Saturn girl.
I hope.
But as far as the comics, Infinity Inc. is related to the old JSA from the 40s.
But Don-el, I know you don't watch Young Justice or are not caught up yet, but they did tease a Legion future. A Legionnaire is definitely in the finale.
Oh my God.
Oh, so you haven't seen it. Like so Don, who do you think would be present in the past from the Legion of Superheroes that would possibly like have some kind of influence on Young Justice or Justice League? Like who do you think fits that scenario?
Yeah, and there are some that have traditionally been in the 20th century, like Karate Kid or
It's a female. It was like a female waitress, and she had blonde hair.
Oh, this one had blonde hair?
We didn't see her face though.
It's probably, I would assume, is it a woman?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it's Saturn Girl.
Well, either that or possibly Leighton. It's hard to say. But actually,
Supergirl.
New 52 is it could be, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that was the other one I heard people like spitballing was like it might be Supergirl.
I mean, it could be anyone with time travel. I mean, it could be possible you get your Wally back if he went into the future.
Don't mean that.
I mean, it's possible. Am I saying I want it to be?
Oh, man.
That's cold. You were just digging deep hole.
Now, what else happened this finale? What do you think about Gregor being an exiled king now?
I think it's hilarious. He's always like preaching patience and everything. He's like, well, you're gonna have to be real patient for this situation to get resolved, buddy.
Well, I hope we get to see him now with Tara, because Tara had like 2 lines the entire season. Again, I'm exaggerating. She had more than 2. I know how people are. But
well, actually,
yeah. But I didn't really. I pretty much guessed she wasn't going to die. I knew she wasn't going to die. It was pretty much telegraphed. But I didn't really care one way or the other. Like, oh, wow, okay, she's good. But I don't even know her.
yeah, because we didn't get enough with her character. And you did call it on like an earlier podcast. I think it was you that expressed that you didn't think that they were going to go that route with the story about her.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
good call on that.
I had a feeling they were going to do this with Brion too, because they were just like at first rehashing the Superboy story, like, oh, he's angry, but he's going to calm down. I was like, no, they're going to try to subvert things. But then they just like dropped that whole storyline and started focusing on other characters. So I was like, oh, maybe they're not doing that. And then when they did it, it felt more like they wanted to get to that, but they didn't put in the work to get to it. So it just happened.
Okay, we got to talk about Jefferson being the new head of the Justice League. That seems so ridiculous to me. I'm sorry.
What? I'm sorry, but what has Black Lightning done this season to earn that?
No, exactly. And then like I don't even care. Like it totally felt like shoehorned to me. But like I'll accept that he's the new leader, fine. But like the thing,
Yeah, if he did something this season.
Yeah, like, and the thing that bothered me the most was like Batman just like tucking his tail between his legs and being like, you're the moral compass or whatever he said. And I was like, whoa, what? I was like, that's like a slap in the face to Superman, Flash,
Well, Superman's
Barry
off
Allen.
world.
Like you think about ones that are like moral compasses to the Justice League. It's Superman, Flash. I mean, Martian Manhunter. Even John Stewart are always like choose right over wrong no matter what. Like,
but you have to remember, I think they mentioned that they switch out the chairs and the co-chairs or whatever. So maybe they've already been the leaders or whatever.
Okay, I don't remember that. So I mean, okay, but like, if like I said, like fine, he's gonna be the new leader, but don't call him the moral compass out of everybody that's in the everyone that's in the Justice League. And that
I understand that. I understand that his morality is really strong. That's really awesome. But he wasn't really leading anyone down a moral path this season. Like nobody was like, "Oh, let me be good because of Jefferson." I didn't see that.
And like that one episode where like it shows him just like constantly contemplating, or like when he's hanging out with Static, and it's just like a bunch of silent scenes with him like moping around. It's just like, dude, cut all that out, man. Get to some action.
Well, I don't mind that, but it really didn't feel relevant. I don't mind slow things. I just didn't find the relevance in those particular scenes.
Like it was like I think 3 scenes though with that like what he was like eating a hot dog with him, and he's just sitting there. Then he like gives him like a fist bump, and you just see him like walking away, and it was just like
why not give them an episode together where they're actually like going on a mission as mentor and mentee or something.
Like I said, like the way like the pacing was with this like definitely the second half, or you could argue the whole season. But like I wish that if they're gonna do that stuff, just give each one like their own episode.
Yeah. But I really felt his promotion was kind of unearned, and then his speech it kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah, and his speech, like he's like, I don't want this, and then like out of nowhere, he already has like a speech planned. I mean, I'm not planned. I mean, maybe he just winged it, but still, it was just like, I don't want this, and then he just immediately changes his tune and gives this like motivational speech.
Well, I understand him having a good speech because he's a principal, or well, typically he's a principal, so he can talk to crowds. But I just didn't.
That's a good point.
care.
That's a good point. I'll retract that last comment then.
Now Forager, remember the whole sequence with Superboy and Forager going to the town with the xenomorphs?
Yeah, gosh, I totally forgot about that.
What are your thoughts on that?
Like I like that. I like that they brought that back into the mix actually. Even though there was already so much going on, but it was cool. I was kind of a little surprised that X or whatever his name is, like just like straight up calls Superman out, when they're in the office with Forager and everything. He's like, you need to stand up for your people. And I was just like, oh dang. And like I didn't.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, like I didn't even see that coming. I was like, okay. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, because he's just like settled into pretty much domestic life, which is fine. But if he's going to be on the show, he does need to do something different.
Yeah.
But I like Forager.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like Forager, and he definitely felt more absent the second half of the season.
Yes, like he just disappeared, just like Brion, but even more so. I was like, where is he? He's so adorable.
I was wondering,
he is a fun
Toonatonian, how's
character.
that Forager poster that you?
It's great. Yeah. Yeah, we did get Forager posters. It's a really neat one, and it suits the character well because it is such an enjoyable character.
What else? We discussed that the xenomorphs, or isn't that what they're called, xenomorphs?
Yes.
With that, we kind of touched base on the UN meeting and everything, which I just love how Connor Kent put it to, like, just ruined everything for Lex.
I know.
That was so bitter, like, just so nice. I mean, I like Lex Luthor. He's one of my favorite villains, but yeah, it's always nice seeing that that upset look on his face when things blow up, on him.
Yeah. Now there's a new member of the Light, which I guess Jace
No idea
is
who that
back,
is.
which I guess.
I know Heavy is the head that wears the crown. He was just like, I don't want to see her.
I did have a quick question. Are you still having huge amounts of still frame type stuff?
Yes.
I was just about to get to that. We had another famous and super awesome stills, like a bunch of still shots, because obviously they spent too much money on all that action. I'm ripping into that hard. I'm sorry.
No, it is a lot. It is a
yeah.
lot of still shots. Yeah, I guess maybe it's supposed to dramatize it, right?
Yeah, because great job.
Yeah, that's what it is, along with the beans and rice for Heavy again.
And like, I remember when the season started, I was not I had to ease into the new animation. I feel like people are like rigid looking, and I don't know, like the movement isn't fluid. Like if you compare like the fluidness of like the trailer for like Harley Quinn, how everything like looks, it's like so much better. Like and like how everyone's shoulders and traps are like just like have sharp angles on them and everything, and they're not. It's not like the curves and everything aren't like smooth. Like I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the animation.
Wait, I have a quick question for you. So you know how the mother box and the father box are sentient?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that Cycle and Bioship have souls too? Or
You kind of get that feeling for sure with Bioship between the relationship that oh my goodness,
Forager again?
yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you. Yeah, like the Forager and the ship have, but I don't know. That would be so funny if like the ship like got destroyed in a battle and like Forager just like bust into tears. That would.
And Superboy is going to be an outsider next season, so that'll be interesting. I just feel like he's kind of like old.
He should just be a part of the Justice League.
Yeah.
He should like
Because Zatanna and Rocket are. Why not them?
He should just sub in for Superman because apparently he's always in space.
Yeah. Also, talking about the space people, Hal is looking much older than everybody else. Are they planning on doing the Parallax story?
Don't know, because I don't really read Green Lantern comics. I know the only reason I know who Parallax is because of the movie. Which honestly I didn't hate like everyone else did, but I also don't read the comics, so I didn't have like any kind of frame of reference. Like Green Lantern.
I think we touched on. Yeah, I think we touched on everything we could recall for the finale of Titans. But before we go, we do need to talk about Titan Season 2 trailer, because Titan Season 2 is coming next week. Woo!
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and the trailer looks amazing. I'm excited about all the characters they're bringing out.
I know. And the Deathstroke costume that was in this trailer was so cool.
I thought so too. Yeah, I liked it.
Aquaman, any thoughts?
No. No, yeah, a bunch. But I feel like from like all our previous podcasts talking about it, I think I've gotten a lot of the my guesses on the nose. One thing I was wrong about was that one fight scene between Donna, or not between, but like with Donna
Shimmer?
Troy and Starfire. It was I thought they were fighting like another version of Starfire, but I guess it's Jinx, and which is cool.
No, it's Shimmer.
Oh, Shimmer, thank you. Oh my goodness. And I always have a hard time thinking of that group that she's with. Like, there's like 4 or 5 of them, right?
The
It's like
Fearsome Five?
yes, thank you. The Fearsome Five, and like Plasma's like her brother in that, right?
I don't remember.
No, it's a Mammoth. I want to say Mammoth is
I don't know,
her
but
brother in that, but like
I don't know.
Oh, isn't Simon part of that? The one from Young Justice?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's Simon and Dr. Light and everything. They're all part of that group.
Yeah,
And
which they pretty much confirmed Dr. Light and Shimmer. So they pretty
yeah,
much confirmed the whole team.
apparently there's going to be a like Batman and Robin are going to go on patrol, and like there's going to be some like some footage of that, and they're saying that there is going to be like little cameos of Superman that they will be
Ooh.
like kind of in the shadows, like
Like
how.
Batman season 1.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like the trailer had me super stoked, and I'm wondering. I was watching this YouTube video where someone like had the list of all like the first 10 or 11 episode, the titles of them. Like the
Oh,
first one's
wow.
Dragon, the second one's Rose, and I wish I could remember what the rest were. I was like looking online and I could only find the first 2 titles, but there's one called like Aqualad. I think that's like number 5 or something like that.
Which
And
I've always liked the idea of an Amazon and an Atlantean being in a couple. So I like the whole exploration of Donna and Garth.
you're gonna start a paradox now. But I wonder like when Donna's talking to Grayson and like it looks like a kitchen or something, and she's talking about we shut this place down because of him or something like that. I'm wondering like if Deathstroke like killed like
Aqualad.
either he killed Alcalad or like the sins they talk about like sins of the past or something like that. I'm wondering if it has to do with what is
His
the
son.
the first Ravager, what was it, Grant? Was it
Yeah.
Grant? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like I wonder if it has to deal with that. And I also
Probably,
heard
most likely.
and I also heard there's going to be a teaser of like Wally West at some point.
Of what?
Wally, Kid Flash.
Oh, sorry, he cut out. I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm super stoked. The trailer looks great, and I'm curious how they're gonna do Rose like having her eye gouged out. Is it going to be like
Do
common
it herself.
status where like did it herself, or like maybe not? And I'm wondering if like she becomes part of the Titans before she like tries to join her dad and then like leaves them to be with work with her dad, or like that has already happened.
They're probably going to use her in place of Tara.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe they're going to switch the Judas contract up with her story.
Yeah. I feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall, I love the trailer. Yeah,
Same.
That's about it.
All right. Well, next week we should be either, if we're filming on Friday, we're going to go, recording. If we're recording on Friday, we're going to go ahead and discuss the premiere of Titan Season 2 and all the new comics and everything.
I know, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
like next week.
Yeah, it got here fast. Yeah.
So fast.
I thought it was going to be forever, and now it's here. Ah.
All right, so we are on YouTube and SoundCloud, as well as Google Play. Go ahead and leave us feedback on the forums or wherever you can reach us. And Nathan's going to still be working on the Apple Podcast expansion. And that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one, y'all.